Pandemic Studios' Star Wars Battlefront has a little soft spot within the Battlefront community. It tends to be overshadowed by its sequel, Battlefront 2, and rightfully so. Battlefront 2 has everything that the first one is, and even more. The way I look at Battlefront 1 is that its job was to lay the groundwork for how to improve on its sequel, basically. I'll start this review off by saying that Battlefront 1 is a very clunky game, and at times it feels very slow and repetitive. It doesn't even have a sprinting feature, which is very odd, and it's even worse with how slow you walk in this game. I literally have to roll across the map to even get to command post to make the game go by just so much quicker. The reticle is also placed in a weird spot as it's not centered, and when you ADS, it's practically at the top of your screen, which sometimes just really throws me off. And the amount of aim assist is also ridiculous too. Like if you're strafing and shooting at someone, you really don't even need to have your thumb on the aim stick, as like the aim assist just pretty much does all the shooting for you. I mean, it's against bots, so to be honest, who really cares about the aim assist anyway, am I right? When I play Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2, I tend to stick with the hardest difficulties, as, you know, who would think that 15-year-old AI is any worse than AI these days? But oh my god, was I so wrong. I totally underestimated them. Battlefront 2's AI isn't too bad on its hardest difficulty, but I swear Battlefront 1 is just vastly superior. So I'll have to give Battlefront 1, the point there. They will literally kick your ass. I played through the entire campaign and had to restart missions just by how badly I'd be losing. So yeah, Battlefront 1 has a campaign, if that's what we really want to call it. Basically, it takes you through key locations and battles from the movies and lets you battle it out to the death. And that's basically about it. There's no objectives like how Battlefront 2 does it. All you have to do is just kill the enemy team, and that's pretty much just about it. You'll get somewhat briefed on the mission before you start, and then it just throws you into the game. Other than that, there's really not much to talk about it. It's very bland, and to be honest, it's really not a campaign. It's more just puts you into battles that just so happen to be in chronological order with the lore, but definitely not on my list for top Star Wars campaigns or stories. So we all know how Galactic Conquest works. Conquer planets until you have control of the entire galaxy, basically. Which, in this case, the entire galaxy is only about 8 planets or so. Um, but what I like about this version of Galactic Conquest, the original version, is that each planet has two maps besides your home base planet, like Hoth for the Rebellion, for example. It gives the game a bit more variety. Instead of Battlefront 2's version, there's only one map per planet. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with that too. Because we all know how that version of Galactic Conquest is. There's just a lot more planets, so it gives you a variety that way by having a lot more planets. Um, After every victory, the game will let you choose what planet to attack next instead of giving the AI a chance to choose where to attack. I like that, but at the same time, I kind of don't like that at the same time. It's pretty nice that you can go an entire conquest without giving the AI a turn to even do anything, but also after so long, it's like what's really the point of playing it that way? After playing it so many times, then all you're doing is just dominating. You know what to expect. Unlike with Battlefront 2's version, there's a bit of randomness to it, because in there it's turn based. You can't exactly know what the AI is going to do. Um, But after so long and knowing how the AI works, you can kind of estimate what they're going to do. But there's still that sort of randomness in there, which I like too. The planetary bonuses for Battlefront One's version of the Galactic Conquest are a cool concept too that I like. I would typically go for Tatooine if I didn't already own it, because who wouldn't want an invincible hero on their side? I never really cared about Yavins, as I guess it's supposed to make your team more accurate, but I could never really tell in the heat of the battle. My only concern with the original version of Galactic Conquest is that it gets really repetitive. We're not having a whole lot of maps to win, and that if you win a battle, it'll just let you keep going until you lose, which is cool. But I'm just really grateful that they expanded on this mode in the sequel, as it's a really neat concept on paper, but it just needed to be expanded upon a little bit more, which is why I'm glad that they did. To be completely honest with you, instant action is just completely useless. Unless you wanted to play a specific map right then and there, or if you wanted to play on Jabba's Palace, which I think was added later on to the Xbox and PC versions, because on my old PS2, we didn't have a Jabba's Palace map unless we completely missed it, but I'm pretty sure we didn't. And when I play on the Xbox version, the Xbox One version, there is a Jabba's Palace map, so probably because it was added later on. But anyway, it's nice that they do have this in the game as a feature, because there's always those people that just want instant action, which is cool and all that they want it and they have it. But for me personally, I could really just care less if it was in the game or not. I never, I don't even think I never once touched instant action in this game, to be honest with you. For the most part, the troop classes themselves are actually pretty balanced. Each class has their advantages and disadvantages, which is what I like. I stated before that I don't like how you can't sprint, and the crosshair placement is just very different from what I'm used to. So that's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of with this game. Um, but on to the more overpowered stuff and unbalanced stuff. The tanks in this game, in the vehicles, they're just extremely overpowered. They will literally one shot anything with a ton of splash damage, and it just takes forever to destroy them unless you're in a starfighter. One reason I love the Dune Sea map is that, yeah, they have tanks like ATSTs if you're on the Empire and stuff, but it's just so satisfying to just decimate them with an X-wing. Eventually, once you're near the end of the battle, though, the AI will have to leave the vehicles. So once they leave them, they're not able to go back in them, because just imagine this: that you're at the end of the battle, and the last person that you have to kill is in an ATST or something, and you already spawned in as, let's say, a sniper. Now you can't respawn because you're the last person alive. So basically, it's like a 1v1 type scenario thing. So in you don't even have grenades or concussion grenades. You only have your orbital recon droid or whatever. So I'm glad that the developers thought ahead and made it so that the AI can actually leave their tank so you can actually kill them, which is one thing I do really like. So for a final verdict, I really do love this game. It was a part of my childhood. I grew up with it, so it's more of a nostalgia sort of thing, which is why I love it so much. It's definitely pretty bland. I don't really think it's lived up to its reputation over the years. It definitely doesn't hold up as a game today. Unlike Battlefront 2, you can play Battlefront 2 hours on end if you so desire. But for me personally, I just can't with this game. It has its moments. It's fun at times, you know, if you haven't played it in a while. But to rate it overall out of 10, I'll have to give it a good 6 out of 10 barrel rolls. It's good, but you just can't play it for as much as you could with its sequel. So that's my final verdict. That's what I'm gonna stick with, at least for now. We'll see how my mind changes in the future. Hello there. Look at you, you little cutie you. You managed to make it to the end of the video. I just want to say thank you that you did. Really does mean a lot to me. Go ahead and leave a like if you would so be inclined to, and maybe subscribe if you would love to as well. Tell me what you think about the video, what you like, dislike about it. Tell me what you love about this game, and how does it differ from Battlefront 2? How does it compare to Battlefront 2 after all these years of not playing it, and how it holds up today? But other than that, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.